Hello and welcome to HiveState Bakugan. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Like I said in my original intro, this channel's for anything and everything Bakugan. So today, instead of talking about Battle Planet, we're going to go over kind of an old collection, which I guess you saw in the title. We're going to go over all my old B1 Bakugan. Most of them are in this, so let's go to the table and let's reminisce. Alrighty, so I think what we need to start with is the main character Bakugan. So there are a couple that I have. With Drago, I have two of them. One of them has a little flippy horn because it was damaged, but I like it because whenever it rolls just right, the horn will just flip out on its own. So that one ended up being my favorite. And with a lot of the old Bakugan here, you'll notice that they have mechanical pieces if you didn't play in the original. So you have to flip his feet out and normally do his horn manually. But there's the original Dragonoid. Quite a bit different than the new one, I would say. Then we'll look at, how about a Pyrus? I cannot roll today whatsoever, but Pyrus was really cool. I liked him a lot. Of course I've liked him. He's Aquos. His little his feet flip out as well. And he had this nice little gimmick where he could change attributes whenever he opened. Really neat Bakugan. Loved the coloring on it. And I liked the character in the show too. But to continue, oh, she fell. Tigrera. Haos Tigrera also has little feet you gotta open out. And if you didn't watch my comparison video, I would suggest to go watch it. But if you'll notice, they have G power instead of B power. But there was the Haos character Bakugan. Then we'll go ahead and go to the attribute that no longer exists, Subterra. Have a Gorum here. There's that. And these are all the basic before they evolved. Then lastly, we had Skyrus. This one's little feathery part on top of the head was always a little wonky, but I think it was meant to use for certain trick shots and stuff. And then of course it has manual feet as well. But all these old, really whenever I'm messing with these, it feels so much different than it does now. It's surprising to go, or not surprising, but it's kind of weird to go back and feel the size of these Bakugan in comparison to the ones today. It's nostalgic. Now, if you know the original series, you know I missed one, and that's because I do not have a dual Hydronoid in Darkus, because they didn't make the original Hydronoid in a B1 size like this. But they did make dual Hydronoid. I actually have him in Ventus. Neat looking. And since we're on Ventus, we'll go ahead and do Ventus first, I guess. I'd planned on doing Pyrus first, but the order doesn't matter too bad, I'd say. I like this Bakugan quite a bit. It actually has a metal ring around it, which is nice. See, another one. Let's look at, I believe this is, Fear Ripper. It's a cool one. In Ventus, I do also have a regular Dragonoid, but he doesn't like to open. He will. Maybe. Maybe not. Okay, there we go. Finicky old Bakugan. But there's a Dragonoid in Ventus. And I'd also like to mention the Subterra Bakugan that I was talking about, the Gorum. This is literally the only Subterra I still have. I don't know where any of my Subterra went to. I almost feel like I traded them at one point in time because there was a Subterra player in the original group. So, I don't know. Not sure where they went. The next one, though, is another Dragonoid. However, it is an evolved Dragonoid. This is I believe it's just Dragonoid 2 is what it was called. Don't quote me on that. It's been a while. But it has a little mouth that hinges. Again, has mechanical feet, and it was one of the ones that have the actual metal ring around it. So there's the second one, and its horn automatically pops out. That one was spring-loaded. Also, I did have a B1 Ventus Pyrus, who also does not want to open. This one could change from Ventus to, I don't know, Haos. Ventus, Haos, and Aquos, I believe. It's its attributes. I don't know if my camera really focuses on that, but yeah. There's that Pyrus. There was also an original B1 Saurus that I had. I liked this one quite as well. I feel like this is what Trino is replacing. But there's the original Saurus. And this next one, I believe, is a Falconeer. It's been a while since I've looked at quite a few of these. Yeah, and I keep dropping them. Here's the first little Falconeer, if it'll focus. They were so much simpler back then. And, you know, a lot of people are glad they didn't do it anymore, but I miss the attribute logos. I think I kind of wish they were on where the magnet space is, but that's just me. A lot of people like that they're gone. 350 Gs. Another one. Let's see, I believe this is just one that I've already had. Oh, it's just another Dragonoid. This one pops better, though. And Robo-Talion. One of the characters on one of the cards reminds me of this Bakugan quite a bit. 350 Bs. Also, you can see the screws and stuff in the old one. China. They're neat. And last but not least, we're going to look at a face-planting Reaper. Beautiful, beautiful Bakugan. This is one of my favorites, although I won't admit it. I like it quite a bit. And let's go on to the next attribute. I think Pyrus. So with Pyrus, I've already shown you the... Oh, well. Okay. I just moved one, it opened up a Reaper, and Fear Ripper rolled around and opened up. So I guess Fear Ripper will be first. Pyrus Fear Ripper looks so nice. I like it quite a lot. This one has 450 G power. And we'll go ahead and look at the second one who opened. It's a Reaper. It's a Pyrus Reaper to be specific. Beautiful, beautiful Bakugan. I like how they did the horns coming up in the like back plate. It's so nice looking. Then we will have a Miss. Hello. Well, Pyrus apparently no longer opens, but I did have a Pyrus Pyrus. He's just stuck. So, there's that. Let's look at the next one. Let's see. Another Gorham. In Pyrus this time. Pretty weak, 250 G power for this one. Which for some of the old cards, I mean, it worked. Oh, I forgot about this one. This is a Mannion. I'm honestly surprised I still remember the majority of the names for these. But here is this one. Slightly creepy. I like it. So, next, we'll have Pyrus Falconeer. Not sure if I looked at this one yet. I feel like I did. No, I looked at him in another faction. Pyrus Falconeer. Then we have Pyrus Skyrus. Again with the floppy head bit. Oh, that yellow looks really nice. It's the only yellow on the Bakugan too. Also, the magnet was exposed on some of these old ones. Actually, the majority of the old ones. But there's Pyrus Skyrus. Next, I believe... Oh, well, I was just bragging about... I don't remember this guy's name. I want to say it was Laserman? But that feels wrong to me. I think it was Laserman, though. I'm going with Laserman. If I was wrong, there's text on the screen right now. If not, Here's Laserman. And another Bakugan we went over, but in Pyrus this time. Saurus. This one's tail doesn't pop out too often. It will, but it just doesn't always. Next. Ooh, I like this one a lot. If it will. Ta-da! It's a wolf. Actually, this one I definitely do not remember the name of. But it's a neat looking little wolf. Also had like the 4 little flip out bits to make tiny little nubby legs. And there it is, cute. But there's that one. And I always liked this one. Not really sure as to why, but I did. This. Ta-da! It's neat. It has a little flippy bit on its tail. It's not spring loaded. It just pops out with the force, and just a nice looking Bakugan. This one was one of the like super early ones that I remember getting, so I like it. Pyrus Tigrera is next. It's like the Haos one, of course, but in Pyrus. Exact same thing, different color. Which, in this basic game, back in the day, the Bakugan you were using didn't really matter. They didn't have effects or anything like that. It was literally just the color and the number. So where they didn't have too varied play styles, especially early on, you could just play whatever color you wanted and play it how you wanted. So I kind of miss it, because back then I could just buy Aquos and be happy and play whatever style that I'd like. Now it doesn't work too much that way. This next Bakugan actually is kind of a transparent. It was a Centipoid. This is another one of those that I got early on. Super simple looking, but I kind of miss the simplicity some days. In saying that, love Battle Planet, don't get me wrong, but I like this one quite a bit. That's all of Pyrus that I had. So we'll move on into Haos. We'll start with the translucent Haos that I had too, which is, again, if memory serves, Laserman. Kinda. Yeah. Which, the way he just rolled in the old game, that was, if I am correct, a stand, because it did connect. If you just have to poke him for him to pop open, sometimes that's what you had to do. Very nice see-through plastic. I don't know why see-through plastic is so appealing, but it wholeheartedly is. So next we'll go with Haos Reaper. I have a Reaper in most factions apparently. No Subterra, and I no longer have a Darkus, but Haos Reaper, in my opinion, the best looking Reaper. Even over Aquos, even though I'm an Aquos player. Love this Haos Reaper. Then have a miss. Pyrus. This one's Haos, which it goes from Haos to Subterra to Ventus. Let's watch that spin. Focus, please. Now he's Ventus. He's still Ventus. Now he's Subterra. It is a neat little mechanic. The gold on the old Haos looks nice. Then, back at it with a Robo-Italian. Maybe. There we go. Haos, Robo-Italian. Then we have another one of these right here. And actually, 2. This one has a wonky wing. 2 of these. So, yeah. For Darkus. I believe the only Darkus I really have now, because I traded them away, is this one. I do have a couple others, but they are currently not here because they will also soon be traded for, well, hopefully a Bakutech. So there's my original Darkus Pyrus. Now, I saved it out for last, other than the very first one, for the sole purpose that it's the attribute I played, so it's the one I wanted to show off the most. We are now to Aquos. So we'll start with an Aquos Centipoid. There's that one. Granted, this one's also a translucent, but there's that Centipoid. Then we have Aquos Siege, which is the first Siege we've seen in the video. 580 G power. Pretty Bakugan. Then, here's a Saurus. I like how he has the little arms that dangle inside. But there's Saurus and Aquos. Another Bakugan I believe we have not yet seen in this video. Almost. There we go. Serpenoid. Old school Fangzor. You can definitely see quite a difference between this one and, let's say, Fangzor Ultra. I won't say there's too much difference between this one and the Fangzor Core, though. But Serpenoid. Actually, that Bakugan's the reason that I keep calling Fangzor Serpenoid, so oops. Alright. Two Bakugan, kind of similar. We have a Falconeer and one of the Griffin things. They are so close in similarities. It's just the core with the wings, but there's two. Then, I also believe I have two of these. Yes, I do. One of them is Pearl, and I'll open him, but his back leg does not open. It is in fact super glued closed because it snapped, so he's damaged, but I still like it. But for the one that's not damaged, hopefully it'll open. Yeah. Who's this? Cute little turtle. How many G power did it have? I'll focus. 450. Not the worst. And I guess technically that's Tertonium's predecessor. So, for one we've seen quite a few times actually. Basic Gorham, but in Aquos. Then, this is a translucent. Maybe. There we go. Robo-Talion. 400 G power here. Not too shabby. I'm actually not a huge fan of the translucent blue plastic. Some of the other attributes look better translucent. Here, is a Fear Ripper. Who, yeah, there we go. He's wanting to be shy. Next, we have another, what I'm calling Laser Man, because I don't remember, to be honest. This one looks really good in Aquos. We also have an Aquos Dragonoid, because like I said, we have a Dragonoid in most things. Or no, I said we have a Reaper in most things. But we also have a Dragonoid in most things. But there's the original. Very, very pretty. And last, but not least, one of the Bakugan that's changed quite a bit over the years. Garganoid. Here's the old Garganoid. He doesn't do flips. It's just a little gargoyle. But that is all of my old B1 Bakugan. It's a decent collection, I would say. Not the hugest, not the smallest. I'm happy with it. One of the things that I absolutely love about this generation is the fact that you can get every Bakugan in, as far as I know, every color. Or at least I know you can get everything in Aquos, so that's good enough for me. But until next time, make sure to stick around. There'll be more Battle Planet Saw Bakugan stuff coming up, well, I'd say just here in a few days. But until next time, you'll see me when you see me.